Good day, everybody. How is everyone doing on this beautiful, sunny, big blue sky day here in Alberta? Wanted to touch a little bit on the by-elections that are happening and the Alberta independence movement. Obviously, the Alberta independence movement is gaining significant traction. 55% are in support of the Alberta pension plan now. We have 51%, according to polls, that would like to see a plan for Alberta independence. And in addition to that, we have, 48, 47% that are fully supporting Alberta becoming its own nation. So this is all really good news for the Alberta separation, Alberta independence, self-determination, whatever you want to choose to call it, movement. The scary part about all of this is this movement has a tremendous amount of traction. People are actively engaged and getting involved. My concern is with the old actors. So there are some people who seem to think that this is their movement, that this movement somehow belongs to them and that they are the voice of this. And I think it's really important for all of us, myself included, and everybody else, to understand that we are here to reflect the will of the people. This is not about us, right? This is not about us and what we think we're contributing to the movement. This is about us being the spokespeople and the voice for those who really just, want to be involved, but don't necessarily want to be the face to something. So, I have seen so many organizations that, oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this person. I don't like that color. I don't like the name. And I'm like, you know what? It is not about you. Do you want 50 plus 1% on a referendum to see Alberta become its own independent, self-determining nation? That is the priority here. So I know there are going to be things that you do not like, and I get it. There are things that I do not like, but the reality is it is not about me, and it is not about you as an individual, right? It is about what moves us closer to the goalpost. And in my opinion, that goalpost is 50 plus 1 on a referendum. We can worry about so much else after we get to 50 plus 1 on a referendum, because that is what is needed and necessary. That is step number 1 to everything else. So no matter what happens, we have to get to a referendum where it is a clear question with a clear majority. Now, the clear majority has already been spelled out in Canadian law, international law, 50 plus 1%. So thus you'll always hear me say 50 plus 1. And it doesn't matter what Independence Party you belong to, what group you belong to. We all have to hitch our horses to that goal. And that is to get us to 50 plus 1%. So, will there be people along the way that will say things, do things, irritate you, people that you may or may not trust, but there's an objective that you can support? Yes. And you know what? Again, we all have to hitch our wagon to the parts of that get us closer to that goalpost. So we have nothing, absolutely nothing. And what I see as probably my biggest fear in this movement is what I've always seen is the internal fighting and the backbiting and the questions and the working against each other instead of working for each other. So right now we have by-elections in 3 different ridings here for MLA. Some people look at by-elections not that important. Great way to do. It is, right? Because there's another election coming up here in 2027. This is a temporary situation. There's no real kind of dire scenario where you're risking a lot on this. So what an amazing opportunity. This is what I see this by-election as. An amazing opportunity for all the independence parties, all the independence groups to pull together and send a message. Because you want to know something right now? We think Ottawa, everyone keeps talking about Ottawa as being our biggest obstacle to getting to independence, a sovereign nation. It's not. It's not. It's getting to that 50 plus 1%. And we have a premier who does not want to see us get there. I have heard it from her own mouth. right? And I get it. She's the premier of the province. Maybe she thinks that she needs to keep this province within Canada, and she's made that very clear numerous times. But the reality is, if you want to see Alberta self-determine its own history, its own future, right? A more prosperous, more free, for whatever reason, we have to get to 50 plus 1%. And the reality is we are going to need political pressure in order to do that. So this, in my opinion, is the time when all groups should be coming together to support one candidate in each of these ridings, to send a message, not to Ottawa. Ottawa will hear the message. We need to send the message to the UCP, and we need to send the message to Danielle Smith. Because if this is what the people of Alberta wants, then this is what she should be working towards tirelessly. Not staying within Canada, but getting us out. So this, in my opinion, is our wholehearted opportunity to send that message to Edmonton and to the legislature and to Danielle Smith. We are not messing around. This is a serious movement, and you need to respect the will not only of her own members, the UCP, of which the majority want to see this happen, but also Albertans. So think about that for a moment. You know, for if you belong to a different group, whether it's Wild Rose Independence Party, whether it's the Independence Party, whether it's Alberta Advantage, whether it's Wild Rose Loyalty Coalition, whichever party you belong to, there is a party out there right now that has 3 candidates that are on the books. They've got their signatures, they've got the money, they're out there with their literature, they're door knocking, their campaign. Is this not the time for all of us to throw our support behind one candidate and send the message home that Alberta is determined to garner its independence? God bless y'all.